the biggest challenges that a manager faces that are unique to work in the federal government as opposed to the corporate or nonprofit sector?
Well, the top one is the media fishbowl. Everything you do in the federal government becomes newsworthy, especially if it doesn't go well. If it goes really well, you're fortunate if anybody notices. But if it doesn't go well at a corporation, it doesn't become front page news. We had a very recent example where one person saw somebody with a gun at a particular Air Force base, reported it as the person was supposed to, and turned out not to be a threat, and now it's on the front page, and everybody's trying to figure out what went wrong. Okay, so one of the first special impediments is the media fishbowl, and of course you deal with that by learning how to deal with the media and being forthright and coming forward with the right story when the media gets involved. The second one goes all the way back to the beginning of our nation. The dispersed power, the fact that we have three branches of government, and they are deliberately fractured so that, and the founding fathers decided they were going to create a federal government that couldn't do anything with a lot of power. They didn't want a lot of power. So they made it very, very difficult for any individual or any program to get something done across the entire government. You've got to get cooperation across all three. And that's the second thing that is really special to doing the work in the federal government. Of course, the answer to how you deal with that is in the fact that you have to learn a special set of skills about how do you get everybody into the fold, how do you build alliances between those types of different parts of the government. The third thing that a lot of people concentrate on is how difficult it is to get innovation in the federal government, because there is such a high penalty to being wrong. People are afraid to innovate. And that's a challenge that you don't have in a lot of corporate settings, especially since there's an economic benefit to finding something that's innovative. Solution or the approach to innovation is to create pockets of protected innovators and to find those innovators and to use them. And I talk some about that in the book. There's a concept called skunk works that is a very interesting way to protect innovators, and the name goes back to the fact that the originator of it put a big skunk on the front so that people would stay away and not get in their way while they were innovating. The fourth thing I guess I would identify that's a really difficult challenge in the federal government, and more so than in private sector, is just the time it takes to get a contract done, the time it takes to get a technology launched. Right now, it takes longer to get any of those things done than the life cycle of the particular technology you may be putting in. And so one of the things that is successful about people who can accomplish that well is they figure out how to do contracts and technology in smaller chunks so that you can pivot when the technology becomes obsolete or when there's a new technology. And how do you accomplish success in all those areas is really one of the things that motivated me to do the book.